Mm-mm-mm-mm. That was a crazy game of poker. I lost it all, but someday I'll be back again. Speaking of back again, Donald Trump is back again on this podcast. I tried to steer from the politics because it wasn't really newsworthy. Lots of news today, including the Biden-Trump face-off at the White House, which was a pretty historic moment. Right before that, we will discuss minors at Diddy's freak-offs, a controversial new report out from TMZ on that. We've got shakeups coming to The View and CNN. People has named its sexiest man alive. For those of you who are wondering where Frankie C is, he is out on a shoot right now. I don't know if it's related to this topic or not. You'll have to stay tuned. Got some commentary from Tony Hinchcliffe, speaking for the first time since his MSG rally. Sacking Christmas show. What? And so much more. My friends, this is a podcast. Every newspaper editor was like, Sacks Christmas printed. It's good. Wondering why their industry is dying so much. Look at all these beautiful people in the live chat. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see everybody. For my replay crew, I love you too. I see you guys later on. I just read the comments much later on. Hoping for some laughs tonight. Let's tamper down those expectations, Christella. Okay, let's not put pressure on the host here. Let's let's take it easy. Let's try and get a giggle. Let's shoot for a giggle, and then whatever happens from there, we'll consider ourselves lucky. Neil is here, ready to go. High Vibes, a member for 30 months. High Vibes. This is a great honor for both the show and yourself. That is a tremendous feat. 30-month member right there. Man, we appreciate all that support. The only reason we can keep it going is because of our diehard members, our amazing live chat crew that's here every show, day in, day out, and of course our mods. We love you all dearly. Let's get into the Diddy thing. I was going to play this clip. I was going back and forth on it. Here's the story. I can sum this up for you very quickly. There's a singer-songwriter. Her name is Tania Wallace, and she's been, talking about her involvement with Diddy for a little while. She winds up on TMZ, who's doing I want to say 3-part or 4-part, but it's Diddy, so it could wind up being a 25-part, docuseries on his downfall, right? Everybody's doing it. We're covering the downfall. It's a big story. Tubi, TMZ, I think one of the other, Netflix or who, everybody's got to have their own little thing. Of course, we're waiting for the 50 Cent one. 50 Cent, that dude, he's had that one ready to go for a while, held it back to add more onto it. I believe Netflix picked up the 50 Cent one. So anyway, the TMZ guy, I never remember his name because he's such a douchebag. I mean, I'm sure he does good work, but I just don't like his face. He was interviewing this Tania Wallace, and so she's telling the story, and she says she showed up at a party. She was invited by the Sultan of whatever, wherever they have sultans, and she shows up and she sees little people in the corner. So she says, I see little people. And so the TMZ guy goes, well, she said midgets. He goes, well, were they little people or were they minors? And she said, well, they were little people, and people were huddling around them. They were covering them up. It was kind of like hard to see, but they were dressed like Harajuku Barbies. I'm still not sure what that means. Is that like red lipstick and is kind of like a style? I feel like I only heard of Harajuku from what's her name from No Doubt. I don't know her real name. I just call her No Doubt. I know she has a name. She's married to that dude, the country guy. I go, look, Blake Shelton married No Doubt. I just call her No Doubt. I don't know what her real name is. I think it's Gwen Stefani, but I'm going to continue to say No Doubt girl. So she says they're like in this particular style, and they're like looking all like sexy and everything. And then so he presses her on it again, and he's like, well, are they minors or not? And she's like, I don't want to say, but use common sense. So I think she's like fearing, the fact that she was at a sex party and a freak off, and there, she claims to have seen minors there, because I'm not 100% certain on the law, but I think if you watch a minor involved in that sort of activity and you don't report it, you can find yourself in quite a bit of trouble too. So she seemed to kind of be wanting to like hint around it. But that is what this Tania Wallace is alleging. So if that is true, not great. Appreciate her coming forward, but she might indeed find herself in some hot water as well. I won't know, of course, until No Doubt sings a song about it, because that's the only way I find out anything, apparently. But my point is this, Christelle, let me know when we got that laugh in. This way I could pull back, because I'm feeling a lot of pressure right now. Anyway, it's great that she comes forward, but also, you're going to get a subpoena. Like, you give an interview like this, somebody with a badge is going to want to talk to you. So you're going to have to clear some things up. She did go on to say later on in the interview that people were having sex at this party through the night into like 7 o'clock in the morning. She said there had been drugs. She saw a lot of people gave vivid detail about clusters of people having sex. She said there was a big time rapper there who she doesn't name. They all say there's a big time person, and nobody wants to say who it is exactly, So that's the latest story on Diddy. I'm sure this will be followed up. I mean, if you're in the FBI and Homeland Security and all those people who arrested Diddy in Manhattan, you're going to want to probably talk to Tania about this conversation. I'm sure this is not the last we're going to hear from her. Again, and it's a weird place to be in, right? Because you want to applaud these people for coming forward, but at the same time, did you witness this horrific thing and not tell anybody for a really long time? This party that she was at, this one in particular, goes back to 2018. So it's been 6 years since she has seen this. Diddy's lawyers responded to TMZ for comments saying, quote, Miss Tania Wallace has no credibility, and her claims about freak-offs and quote, in quotes, and minors are completely and categorically false. At what point, pause quote here, what point in society did we need to add categorically when denying something? Have you noticed that? Nothing can be completely false anymore. It has to be completely and categorically false. It's like if you say, oh, that's completely false, be like, but is it categorically false? Because I feel like there's still a chance that it might be true if you don't say categorically. Everybody has to say completely and categorically now, if you haven't noticed. Anyway, continuing quote. As we said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that are facially ridiculous. Factually? Facially? Is that facially? Seems weird. Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail. That accusation against Mr. Combs that the accusations against Mr. Combs are pure fiction. Yes, I do believe truth will prevail in court when they play the videos, because I saw that one where he was beating the hell out of that poor girl, and that should be enough to lock you up for a really, really long time. A really long time. Mike says, and his last name is Genius, so I'm assuming he's very intelligent. She's making the rounds, blowing the whistle. She was a hooker. White soft underbelly YouTube. I don't know. Is that a code word? Did I just trigger something by saying that sounds like a code word phrase? White soft underbelly YouTube. Like, what's the password? White soft underbelly YouTube. Okay, come on in. Seems like it should have been factually, right? Right, Rhonda? But it says facially. Did they get an I in there instead of an T? Maybe. Facially. I don't know. I have to look that son of a bitch up. Like facial recognition software? Let's see. facial is an adverb that means in a way that relates to the face. They don't resemble each other facially. Okay, yeah, I've heard the word. Doesn't make sense in this context, though. Hold on, let's turn this podcast into a grammar podcast. Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that are facially ridiculous. I don't know. Well, we'll assume that Diddy's lawyers are stupid. I mean, after all, they did take this case, right? I mean, I don't know if they're just doing it for the money, but still, you got to be pretty desperate to get into that whole camp. All right, we have not talked about Donald Trump since the podcast after the election, which was, a week ago? So we almost went a week. We did 2 episodes without bringing up politics whatsoever. But we're in a position now where we do indeed have to dive right in. It was a pretty historic moment today when you look at all the mudslinging that went on in the political arena over the last 4 years, definitely 2 years, and certainly in the last 3 to 6 months. We definitely had a lot of really super nasty moments. And then President Biden invited a president-elect Donald Trump to the White House to have a meeting and ensure a smooth transition. And they met at the White House today, and they went in front of the reporters. And I'm going to play the whole clip for you so you can see just how it was, because it's very quick. It's a 1:30 clip. We got this one from Fox 9. Who the hell is Fox 9? Minneapolis, St. Paul. Okay, so thanks Fox 9 for this clip here. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm glad that we can share it with you. There's a couple things I want to focus on, and one of them is the fact that, these two can be quite cordial to one another. That's one. 2, Donald Trump's behavior continues to surprise me at times post-election. And 3, the media is just filled with a bunch of savages. I mean, savages. Here's the clip from our good pals over at Fox 9 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Turn this up so everybody can hear.
And the former president, thank you. Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having like we said, smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. Good. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
I mean, they're screaming so loud questions that even these two foes are laughing at how nuts the media is. And by the way, this is 56 seconds in. This continues. Look, the press aide here steps in to try and get them to move out. Watch this. She can't get them out of the room. She cannot get them out of the room. Isn't that unbelievable? All right, let's get into a couple things here. One, did you notice and hear how loud and large that fire was behind them? I believe that this was Biden's White House attempt to kill President-elect Trump. This is what I don't want to spread conspiracy theories, but I think they thought, let's see how big we can make this fire and see if we can't catch that Trump hair to, just... That's what I think. Because look at it. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 4 logs deep, It is stacked up 4 logs tall. Somebody was playing Jenga with the fireplace logs at the White House. You can't tell me that was just Rhonda, or catch a fart. They know how Trump likes to fart. Good point. That's a good point by Rhonda. Let's give her some gold stars and some points, because they probably maybe they were trying to kill Biden. Maybe like, let's see which way his ass is facing. Maybe he just puts Biden out of his misery finally. I don't know. Somebody was trying to kill somebody with that fire, because that is a ridiculously sized fire for a Oval Office meeting. I'm sorry. I mean, do they usually? Who is ever? I have a fireplace. I put one thing. Maybe I put another thing over it. 2 things, 2 logs stacked like this. Done. It's fucking 4. It is the tallest fucking stack of wood I've ever seen on fire. It's crazy. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, it takes a real big person to shake the hand of a winner after they've lost. One of the things I love about hockey is, you watch the hockey playoffs, and these teams try and kill each other. I mean, they're swinging sticks. They're punching each other. They're hitting they're physically trying to harm the other people on the other team. Shooting rubber discs at their face at 100 miles an hour, right? They're doing all these crazy things. Series ends. What do? They take off their gloves, they line up, and they shake hands. Basketball players do this too, but there's a couple of times LeBron James didn't, and I haven't forgotten about it. And there's been other players that haven't done it either. Football, they don't really do it in a line. It's kind of more like a mishmash. I don't know if baseball really congratulates each other. I don't think they do. Sore losers. But in hockey, they go over and they congratulate. The loser goes over and congratulates the winner. It takes a big person to do that. It takes a big person. Joe Biden's a big person to do this. I really thought it was a big class move. Big class move. And I think it is also his way to sticking it to Donald Trump, because Donald Trump did not do this for him. There was no invite extended. There was no concession the first time around. Donald Trump acted like a baby and an idiot. And, I think that was Biden's way of showing a little bit of superiority there, which also coincidentally happens to be an issue for the Democrats at the moment. Superiority thing happens to be a really big issue that they need to fix. That's the first thing. Or second thing. I can't tell. Third thing. Donald Trump is vicious. He is an animal, and he will stop at nothing to win. What's crazy about that, and much like an athlete, once he's won, he lets it all go. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen, and we've never seen anything. Let's be honest. We've never seen a politician, because he's not really a politician. I mean, I guess you can kind of say he is now. He's been through 3 elections, 2 presidencies, right? I guess we can qualify him as a politician, but he is, you go back to the lock her up chance with Hillary Clinton, and he gets in the office and they're like, "You're going to lock her up?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm over it." He's like, "I'm here. What's the difference?" Gives a shit what she does. Like, he lets it go. The Sleepy Joe and Comrade Kamala and all the horrible things he said about that frail old Weekend at Bernie's man next to him. And today he's like, politics is nasty, but this is nice. I mean, I've never seen a more cordial side of this man, when he's like, because he's not a competition anymore. Biden's not a competition anymore. So it's kind of like, all right, we'll just be 2 fellas just, chopping it up. I bet you the first thing they said as soon as that press closed that door, they probably both looked at each other and went, "Kamala, what a nightmare," right? I mean, they must have been laughing it up and knee slapping the whole afternoon together. Oh, here we go. Now, this is hurtful, but it's been said. The Kamala Harris of the AOA podcast is here, and that is Jay Sabs.
Oh, God. That's the worst thing you've ever called me.
That's not me, but people tell me that they call you that. A lot of people tell me. A lot of people are saying it. I walked into the Discord chat and I said, "Wow, are people really calling Jay Sabs I said, "Wow, people are calling Jay Sabs Kamala. That's amazing." Yes.
Okay, tell me this meeting wasn't adorable.
Oh, this is like porn for you, right? Two old guys just sitting there trying not to shit their diapers. I mean, you must have been having a time of your life.
I think that this was really cute. I think I have to say, Trump was very cordial to him. Don't you agree?
Well, I was just saying that. Yeah, I was just you miss it when I say the stuff that's pro Republican. You tend not to hear those things, but I did just say it.
He was. I was like, wow, okay. I thought maybe like he would say something kind of like backhanded or like a snarky remark, but he didn't, as far as we know.
Yeah, I said when the threat to him is neutralized, he lets it go. It was
Yeah.
lock her up Hillary before that election, and then he got into office and he was like, I don't care, whatever.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's literally like wrestling. It's legitimately the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
They're just shaking hands and going for dinner and bitching about Kamala after the match is over. So I was surprised. I was surprised by that, but I will give again. This is two major points of credit for Donald Trump.
Oh boy, let's hear this.
He said the word unity in his victory speech on election night. You get credit for that. That was a big move for him. He doesn't do that often. I give him credit. And then this meeting here where he says this is nice. I mean, this is as nice as it's going to get from Donald Trump. He did it. He showed up and he wasn't an asshole twice in 1 week. I think that's a victory. That's a win.
Okay, since Frank's not here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Frank for a second.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see how long that's going to last.
Oh, I thought you were going to fight me on something. I thought you were taking the opposition.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's see this. Okay. Oh God, I'm sorry. My back hurts me.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I will say this too.
Right, you're supposed to ask why my back hurts me.
Oh, why does your back hurt?
Oh, just from carrying this podcast. I'll be right back. Hold on 1 minute. I'll be right back, really.
There has been still a fair amount of people that are upset about the election, which is fine. We did, and I'll urge everybody to go back to the post-election podcast that we did last Wednesday. And when didn't I, Mercury? I fucking walked right into it like if Karen went to go get the dresses in that store. You know what I'm saying? At the end of Goodfellas, I just walked right in, just like I do need dresses. Like a kid going into a fucking Astro van looking for candy. I just walked right into that stupid joke. Anyway, last Wednesday, I think we did one of the more poignant podcasts we've ever done, which was the acknowledgement of what America is saying together as a country, which is we do want change, but not necessarily the change that the Democrats want to lay out. And one of the points that I made was, the superiority thing, which I hinted to a moment ago, is an issue, right? This, I need to be, superior to you, this thing that the Democrats have of, the Republicans are awful people. They're racist. They're bigots. They're this. They're sexist. They're this or that. And listen. When it comes to certain people, looking at you, MTG, and Bobes, you got some cases to be made, right? And certainly Donald Trump is guilty of saying some not so great things that I have called him out for, things that I still have issues with to this day. I've said it, and I've said it a million times. He never conceded. He didn't show up at inauguration. I will never let that go. It'll always be on my mind. But at the same time, the people who make up this country overwhelmingly voted for a different course of action. They put their own priorities above other moral issues, such as women's reproductive rights, illegal immigrants in the country, all that kind of stuff. They prioritize it. It needs to be respected. That's what an election is, right? It's your fellow country people saying, this is the way that I want. This is the way that I want to go. I respect it. And I thought about it long and hard. And like I said, I made all those points. People don't want to be told how to feel. People don't like the woke thing. I mean, you've seen it in the week since we've done that episode of a lot of Democrats coming through. James Carville said just today or yesterday, he was like, I told the Democrats to let go of this woke shit,
Mhm.
And it's just like the same issues that people have with the Republican Party is evident in the Democratic Party. You've got great people in the Democratic Party, and then you got this little faction. Stop. There's a little faction over at the end that takes things to the umpteenth degree way too far. One of the things that I caught a lot of shit for was defending Tony Hinchcliffe because I didn't like how they portrayed it. And you know what? I was right about that. That blew up in the Democrats' face.
Yep.
Right, Janine? And I was here right after it happened, and I said they're manufacturing a controversy, and we'll see if it works or not. And not only did it not work, but it really backfired in their face.
And Frank tried to fight you on it, and he was adamant. He was adamant.
I don't remember. Was he?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You don't remember that whole... He kept pushing you on it. Don't tell me you don't remember.
Well, we fight about a lot of stuff. I mean, it's hard to keep track of. I don't doubt you, but I'm just saying I can't remember what arguments he was making.
He was saying because Donald Trump is racist. That's why they had a racist guy on there. So neither is true. But I forgot to tell you this. Chris DiStefano was on his podcast. He was on his podcast, and it was before that happened, but it aired after, and he got a lot of shit for it too. And he was like, "What the fuck is wrong with people?"
DiStefano?
He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Come on."
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was just a comedian. Is all it was,
Right.
So anyway, and yeah, Carville saying today, the Democrats got to give up the woke thing, and I think it's true. Listen, again, I sit here and I go, boy, it would be nice for everybody to be more accepting. It's nice to preach diversity and have diversity. It's nice. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nice to accept transgender people and, as they're figuring it all out. But, there's that side of it. There's if you're gay, you're straight, you're trans, you're bisexual, it's okay. That's a great part about what liberals fight for. And then you have the other people that are like, well, if you don't say LGBTQ plus if you don't say all the things, then you're an asshole and it's like, well, no, that's the kind of
my
shit.
My gay friend won't even do that.
Yeah, it's gotta stop. It's people can't even I saw a thing, somebody tweeted the other day, they're putting 2 something ding in front of the L now. And it's just pick one thing to represent everybody. Stop it. You're going to have the whole fucking alphabet. That doesn't make me a bigot. That makes me somebody who likes a clean marketing message. You know what I'm saying? It's just common sense. But some of these people, they can't see it. And the second somebody interjects common sense or a difference of opinion, right away, they're an asshole. Some guy told me to fuck a pie, remember? I mean, the absurdity over me just saying Tony Hinchcliffe is a comedian was nuts.
Yeah, you can't say that.
And that's what these people were dealing with. And so for the last, I bring it up, it's a preamble, because for the last week, we've been quiet on, what Trump is doing, letting him do his thing. And I believe that. The guy is our president now, whether people like it or not. He's going to take office. We're not going to agree with everything he does. The honeymoon is going to be over. He's going to do things that even people who voted for him are starting to. There's no president whose fucking approval rating ended higher than where it began. Maybe I don't even think they had approval ratings back with Lincoln, but I'm just saying it always goes down. It never goes up.
All I gotta say is, I do feel a bit bad for Frank, because You know, like when vacation ends and like, well, at least for me, I never want vacation to end, and it's like you get like depressed, like, oh, now vacation's ending, now I got to go back, and he's gonna come back to this. Oh man, you know he's low right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's low right now, but maybe he's putting off the inevitable that it's going to be, you know. And you know what I said? I said to myself after last Wednesday's podcast, I don't want to turn this into like, we had such a good show Friday. We had a fun time Monday, you know, like I'd like to get back to that. This show for the next 4 years is not going to be about what crazy thing Donald Trump did today, because I already did that and I don't want to do it again. That's not to say we're never going to talk about him, because we're going to talk about him right now. When it's newsworthy shit, we're going to do it. But I urge the Democratic friends that are out there to be a little bit more open to shit and a little
pot. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know
be a little more accepting. Not every little thing is going to be the end of the world, you know?
Right.
So he names one of the weekend anchors at Fox News the Secretary of Defense, and people, that was the first time I saw people like lose their shit. And I was like, the guy was in the military at least. I mean, he's, you know, it's not a traditional choice. I don't think any of these appointments are going to be traditional choices. I'm not going to talk about that. To me, that wasn't podcast worthy. And then he named Matt Gaetz the Attorney General, and then I thought, well, that's unacceptable. That's fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. All the things said, and I'm giving him a lot of leeway here, but the guy is under investigation for child trafficking. The fucking guy admitted to Tucker Carlson that he was with the girl they were accusing him, that they went to dinner together. Like, the whole thing stinks. You know, Matt Gaetz is such a douchebag. I mean, I will support the presidency of Donald Trump. I hope he does well. I'm wishing for him to do. See, there's people out there, J Subs, you agree, right? That are wishing this guy crashes and burns.
Yeah. One's missing from this podcast right now.
That's not me. I wish he does well. I hope he does good. Every time he does something, again, he named that guy, and I go, all right, well, and then the guy. So, all right, let me get your opinion on this, because I think you're a woman still. That could change at any moment. I don't know. I'm not going to judge anybody, and I don't want to get yelled at by the liberals.
Wednesday.
It is early in the week. The Secretary of Defense guy who he nominated did an interview a couple of weeks ago, or whenever it was, and he said that women shouldn't be serving, on the front lines. Is that offensive to you? Because it sounds like it would be. But again, we're in a woke cancel culture society that right away people get so enraged. Because I said to myself, I can remember a time when it was classy not to have women on the front lines. And then it seemed like something that women wanted to fight for, so they got it. Again, it's not the most ideal place to be. Is this guy, is that offensive to women? I'm sure it's offensive to some.
I don't know about offensive. That's a hard thing. Maybe a little offensive.
Because I also feel like it's like, I don't know if getting to the front lines gets you promotions or whatever, but that might fuck up your career. And if you want to have a military career, you don't want to be held back by your gender.
That's true.
But listen, this is the party and the guy that we voted for, and these are he has made it clear in this first week he doesn't give a shit about qualifications, traditional values, or experience, or anything. He is going to put the people he likes in the position he wants.
And guess what? He could, because he's the president. So there you go.
With a Republican Congress who has to approve it, and probably will, most of these things. I am curious, because even the Republicans were like, what? Matt Gaetz? So I'm curious to see. And Matt Gaetz didn't make any friends in in the Capitol. Like he has been very vocal. He helped oust the Speaker of the House. He's been critical of the FBI and all the agencies that he's going to be overseeing. So this one is a tough one. And from what I understand, Trump interviewed multiple people, a lot of people for Attorney General. And a lot of really qualified people didn't get the nod. And then suddenly Matt Gaetz got it. It seems a little bit strange.
Awkward.
Yeah, Rhoda thinks that Matt won't be approved, which would be interesting for a Republican president to send a candidate to the Senate to get approved by a majority, a Republican majority, and to have them reject that and send that back would be. I was going to say embarrassing, but I don't know if anything is embarrassing anymore.
Exactly.
I really don't. But I just thought that was interesting. And then here's the other thing that I wanted to mention too, that I feel like is bullshit, because, you hear everybody talk about the all the charges against Trump being bullshit and all that, and Frank would fight this to the bitter end. And, I stand by. He sat in front of a jury of his peers, Republicans and Democrats, and they convicted him of those 34 counts of, whatever he went through in the first trial. Jack Smith, who's prosecuting him for the next trial, he wrote. Let me get this right so I don't fuck this up. So that people, I don't have people on the right and the left telling me to fuck pastries, Chase Abs, and we can't have that.
Well,
you can't screw up anything these days. Jack Smith wrote to the Department of Justice. No, I'm sorry. He wrote to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. As a result of the election held on November 5th, one of the defendants in this case, Donald J. Trump, is expected to be certified as president-elect on January 6, 2025, and inaugurated on January 20th, 2025. The government respectfully requests that court hold this appeal in abeyance and stay the deadline for the government's reply brief, which is currently due on November 15th, 2024, until December 2nd, 2024, to afford the government time to assess this unprecedented circumstance and determine the appropriate course going forward, consistent with the Department of Justice policy. Let me translate that for people. Basically, you can't, if you're going to prosecute the president of the United States, you have to wait till they're out of office, is the Department of Justice's policy. So now that he's going back into office, he's basically writing like, let's hold off on this thing. He's basically pulling back on it, which makes you feel it might not be bullshit, all these charges, but it makes you feel like it's bullshit, because if it's really real, listen, it would put us in a really weird pickle. If he went in front of a judge and got sentenced as the president of the United States, nobody knows what to do with that.
Right. What do you do?
Nobody knows. It would be a constitutional fight of epic proportions. And I think that he doesn't want to wage that war right now, which I think is smart. But again, the optics of it all looks like you just tried to persecute this guy and he won, and now everybody's backing down.
Yep.
It's kind of what it looks like.
Ooh.
Which is also kind of what it looks like over at The View.
Oh,
because, yeah, and even Jay Sabs is all hard. I think Jay Sabs is going to leave the podcast for The View. That would be amazing. You can't punch Anna Navarro or whoever the girl is that you hate. You can't hit her.
I can't fucking stand her. God.
So apparently there's been some high-level discussions that they need to get a MAGA voice on The View to balance out that show.
Well, here's the thing. That other girl, the one who's like a quote-unquote Republican, and she used to work at the White House while he was president? Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know who's on that fucking show. I have no idea.
They all just... Oh, God, they're such miserable fucks. They really are. They really are. It's
I'm looking at a picture of them. I don't know who any of these people are.
Yes, you do. Stop.
No, I don't. I know who Whoopi is. I know who. I know Joy Behar. I love Joy Behar. I know Anna Navarro only because you brought her up to me.
Oh, can't stand her.
Is there an about the hosts here? I'm trying to look. I don't see anything on there. When did websites become so difficult to read?
To navigate.
Yeah, like shouldn't there be? Here's the hosts on the fucking show.
A lot of people can't stand them though. Even the
Oh, here we go.
ahead.
Okay, Whoopi, Joy Behar, Sarah Haynes. Is this what Sarah Haynes looks like? Was this the girl that was the intern on the 4th hour of the Today Show with Hoda?
Yes, I think so.
Right? Oh my God, she got some work done. That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She looks terrible. Why do women get so much plastic surgery? Sonny Hostin, Anna Navarro, and Alyssa Farah Griffin. No, I don't think any of these people were in the White House.
You sure?
I don't know. Anybody in the live chat could help us out here? I can't. I'm not.
Farah. That's who it was. Farah.
Farah Griffin was in the White House?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Worked for him or somebody else?
For him.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So what? Oh, so is she always fighting with them? Are they slugging it out or?
No, I think she used to fight with them, but now she's just like, eh.
Oh, because she was the press secretary for Mike Pence.
Oh, okay.
So is that why she's not on the Trump side then? Maybe.
Probably. She probably, even if she is, she probably can't say she is, right?
Mm-hmm. No, she should be. Well, here's what I was going to say. I don't know what your point on this story is, and you'll have, my point is you don't want everybody with the same opinion on that show.
I know that, and that's what I don't get. But they all hate him. When the other girl was on it, I used to like to watch it because they used to fight more. What's her name? Chubby blonde.
Angela Lansbury. Martha Stewart. Chubby blonde.
You know her. Her dad was, oh God, John
McCain.
Yep.
Yes. Little McCain.
Yeah, but she said Joy Behar used to treat her terribly. And was
is that right?
Oh, yeah. Like, was downright rude, like, even behind the scenes.
But Joy Behar's from New York, isn't she? So
Joy Behar's a cunt. Let's be honest. She is.
Well, that's what I was trying to say in a nicer way.
But she is. Like,
I don't think so. You think she is?
Oh, yeah, she is. And she thinks she's gorgeous. Oof. Ugh. And please. Oof.
Does it say where? I think she's from New York. I don't know. She's a female comic from New York where she's got to be a little spunky.
Can't fucking stand her.
You really don't like her? She's very funny. Okay. All right.
I don't think she's funny at all. I think she's very annoying.
Oh, listen, here's the other thing with Trump. He turned a lot of people. She used to be very funny and filled with like life. Mm-hmm. Now all she can talk about is Trump.
It's like Kathy Griffin.
No, but Kathy Griffin was never funny. That's the difference.
Never was funny.
Kathy Griffin stinks.
Ugh.
How you feel about Joy Behar is how I feel about Kathy Griffin.
I can see. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Is she from Brooklyn? She's from Brooklyn. Of course, she's going to be a not a warm person.
Can't stand her. Ugh.
Yeah. I just think that, you ever watch the Five on Fox? It's unwatchable.
I've never seen that.
Anytime anybody on CNN has one, I don't know what their panel shows are called, but I will give CNN credit. They always throw a Republican on there just to fucking stir it up a little bit, which you need differing opinions. Meghan McCain. Thanks, Laura L. You need differing opinions to make shows interesting. That's why people find this podcast interesting. If everybody agreed all the time, it would be fucking boring.
Right. That's why I don't get why I don't get it.
But I'll be honest with you. I could lose this entire panel if not for Whoopi and Joy. Like I don't know who these other 4 females are, but I would get rid of all of them
You
because
would.
these 2 at least know how to entertain and carry a show. Most comics do. I've never seen any of these 4 bring anything of substance to the table.
Yeah, they. Mm-mm.
But again, I live by the method of you got to be funny too. You know, I mean, that's why we don't wear fucking ties and dresses on this show. You know, I mean, it's got to be buttoned down a little bit for it to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's why the Daily Show works so well. And for a while there, it was considered a more important news outlet than all the CNNs and Fox Newses combined. Because it's like people want that connection. They want to be entertained when they're being informed as well. They don't want to be fucking lectured down to, you know. That's just me. I don't know.
No, you're right.
I don't know who they could bring. I mean, here's the other problem too. What female personality that is known in the world
Could go on there.
can go on there and
Republican.
who we know is a Trump supporting Republican.
Oh, listen to this. Brian Bannon.
That's Brian the Cannon Bannon, my good buddy.
Oh yeah, didn't you say he like
Let's
is
hear
your
this
best
one.
friend, but you pay him for it though.
I pay him to be my best friend. Yeah, there you go. That was good. Good. Stick to setting me up and letting me walk right into
I'm sorry. I was
a-
reading something and then I totally messed up the joke. Shit. That's why you should pay attention.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell my kid. Who is a good crazy Republican? No.
Well, wait, hold on. You started reading Brian's comment and then you stopped.
Oh, Joy Behar once thought I was an employee at Schiavone's IGA, and she asked me where an item was, and I explained I didn't work there. And she said, "Then what the good are you to me?" See what I mean?
Oh, but see, I think that's funny. I think she was trying to be funny. Oh no, even Brian said, I don't know if that was amazingly funny or trying to be rude. See, I read that as funny. I would have laughed at her if she said that to me.
Dr. Dex got a good one. Candace Owen.
Oh, Candace Owen.
That would be a good one.
Let me think about that. I don't know if she would do it.
Yeah, because she hates her.
And she's got her own platform. She makes her own money on her own, doing her own thing. I don't know if she would. See, that's the other thing. Old broadcast mainstream media ain't what it used to be. The dollars are not there any longer. You know?
It's true.
So if you are one of the few...
Megyn Kelly. Yeah, right. She would not go on them.
Megyn Kelly's interesting. Because I don't think Megyn Kelly is as set up as Candace Owens is.
I don't know, but also I just remembered you did not reply to my text yesterday.
I ignore you whenever I can.
So I think I'm gonna have to bring that up on the show. But okay.
All right, let's wrap this up because I think we got 2 good things, and then you could slam me for ignoring your text.
Hurry up because the roommate's almost out of the shower, so you know what that means.
Okay, yeah. Well, you keep me on track. You keep me on your timeline.
Go ahead.
Megyn Kelly is interesting though but I think Megyn Kelly is funded mostly by Sirius XM. I think that's where her show lives, and that's where she gets paid. So she might be in a position where she'd want to step up and go back into broadcast news. But Megyn Kelly is a host and a commentator. I don't know if she would sit second chair to Whoopi, you know?
Oh, can't stand her either.
First of all, Brian's got the fucking answer right now. Forget the MAGA conservative. Get Haktua on there, and then you'll really see those numbers go up.
What about JSABs?
I would love to see you on there. The thing is,
I would go off. I would literally yell, "Cut!" on the top of my lungs.
You can't call somebody the C word on broadcast television, so that would be an issue. That'd be a barrier to overcome.
Yep, be fired already.
You'd be fired. You can't call people cum guzzlers, like which you like to do a lot.
I do.
And I have text messages to prove that. And also, here's another concern. There's a lot of salad bars around where they tape The View.
Yeah.
and security has never been higher. You know what I'm saying?
I bet you. Do you think my picture's still up in that store?
Yes. 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 A billion percent yes. Yeah. Mercury says Whoopi needs to retire. You know, it's funny. I think there was an article that's like Whoopi was like, I need to work. I don't know if Whoopi is sitting on a stack of cash like everybody thinks she is.
Mm-hmm.
I think Whoopi made some bad investments in the 90s, to be honest
Probably.
with you. Yeah. That's why she's out there waking up and bringing her ass into that studio every day. CNN is in trouble too because they don't have money. They are running out of money.
Well, there you go.
And so the rumors there are up and down the list, like you name it, from Anderson Cooper, who makes 20 mil a year, to some others who are only making 3 or 4 million a year. They're not pulling in the rate. Erin Burnett and Caitlin Collins, they're not pulling in the ratings like they used to justify these salaries. So we could see a huge shakeup on CNN. But it goes back to my point of, listen, America voted, right? They said that they're tired of woke cancer culture. They said they want America put first, right? They said a lot of things by overwhelmingly voting for Donald Trump. And now we're starting to see that ripple through the media where it's like, if that is the overwhelming opinion of this country, then the media needs to match that, if they want to survive.
Yep. If not, sorry.
Yeah. So we'll keep our eye on CNN. Again, I would love 5 minutes to fucking shake up CNN. Do you want to pick on me or go to Sexiest Man Alive, Tony Hinchcliffe, or Sack's Christmas show?
I feel a little spicy, so I'm gonna pick on you.
Okay, go ahead. I ignored your text message, allegedly.
Yeah. This is for the people who've been to Disney. I want to know who here has been to Disney in the past 3 or 4 years and just walked on a queue. Oh, you like how I use that?
What are you, fucking European?
I know,
What is that?
and not used any type of lightning lane, fast pass, etc.
I don't even know. First of all, I definitely don't even know what ETC is. That's really weird. I don't know what I've read the description of Lightning Lane 1,000 times, and I still don't understand it.
Do you want me to explain it to you in like terms that you can understand?
Yes. I'm one of 3 people in this country who understands the Electoral College, yet I can't wrap my brain around Lightning Lane.
So basically, instead of waiting on the line, which is where, people who don't purchase the Lightning Lane go on, you simply walk on a different line called the Lightning Lane where you don't have to wait. Oh, yeah, that's true, Robin.
Patrick Mahomes' wife. That's a good one for the view.
And I don't think you need it for every park, but I think you need it for Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
I think you'll be miserable. I think you'll be miserable if you don't.
Well, I'm going to be in Florida with my family, so it'll be miserable no matter what. Nothing's going to stop that. But for people who don't know, we are taking the family to Disney in a couple of weeks. So we will be away for not too long, but we might have a couple of episodes from Florida, not during Disney week, of course, but before Thanksgiving. So that'll be interesting to see if that happens, but we're working out the details. But yeah, so my wife is like, we got to get Lightning Lane. And I'm like, I don't know. Because here's why I said that. And this is like really, we're getting into this is super adult Disney adult conversation. I read somewhere that you don't need that shit in like Animal Kingdom because it's not a big park and you can get on everything.
So, not that it's not a big park because it is the biggest park, but the biggest park acre wise. They don't have many rides, which is why it's a little tougher to get on them because everybody flocks to them. Now, let me tell you. What do you want to do there? Do you have
Yeah, no, here's the other weird thing. I don't have like I kind of am intrigued by the Tron ride, but the last couple of times that we went, we didn't get on most of the rides we want because we went with the kids and they were super small every time. So like we've never ridden the Avatar ride because it just wasn't feasible.
okay?
So I'd like to do that. I know Cuddles wants to do the Avatar ride, so I'd like to get her on that, make sure she gets on that. The Tron thing is interesting to me. The rest of it, I don't know.
Tron is not there though.
Tron is in it's in Epcot, or I think it's Epcot or Magic
Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom. Okay. So I don't really have the other thing I said to my wife is I don't think we need to hit every single fucking ride.
But what are you going there for?
We can do a lot. I want to do a lot of them, but there was one she said the other day, and I go, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I'm like, yeah,
that's the best one.
We can skip that one. I'm like, I'd be happy to do it, but if we came back from this trip doing every ride except for that one, I'd be like, it's okay.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, no. You have to do that one. That's why you have to.
But here's the other thing. This annoys the shit out of me. I don't want to pay. You know what? We're fucking. Well, because you just went. What you have to fucking pay for this trip. Now I got to pay another $16 just so I don't have to wait on a line. It's demoralizing.
It is, but you have to do it.
I'll tell
you why. The Seven Dwarfs Mine Train right now at 10 o'clock. There's a 50-minute wait.
I know, but there's something about when I wake up in the morning, I'm already $1,000 in the hole for the day, and now it's like we need $16 more. It just fucking infuriates me.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you're not going to care because you're not going to want to wait for that long for each ride. You're not. Just think, instead you could literally just walk. I got
news for you. I am not doing it. Okay.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to Disney World and I am raw dogging it. There will be no protections. There will be no cheating. We're going analog. Like it's 1985. I'm standing at the end of the fucking line and I'm waiting to go on the 3-minute ride for 45 minutes.
Who's gonna tell him in the chat that after a day there, he's going to buy a lightning lane for every park? Because his kids are not going to want to wait 45 minutes.
And that's the other thing. Oh, here's the other thing. These fucks at Disney, then they know in some of these parks they got 4 or 5 rides that require that you really need this bullshit to get on, right? Only one. Then they go, oh, there's tiers. So only one of those rides is in all of those rides are in the one ride tier. And then here's a bunch of other fucking rides you don't need this shit for. And then that's what, it's bullshit. So now I got to buy 3 lightning lanes just to get onto the rides that I want to.
No, the only ones that you actually are single ones are Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy. Every other one is included with the parks, multiple lightning lane. Robin
says, "Believe women." Paul says, "The teacups turn you."
Let me ask you: you think your son's going to be able to wait 65 minutes?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because we did it. We did it last year. We went to Universal and we waited on an hour line. They hung in there. It was a little, because they have all that shit on the way. No, I'm with you. I think we need it for Tron if we're gonna. I don't even know if the kids are gonna want to do that one. But all the other ones, like I told my wife, I go, because did your girls go on the roller coasters? Were they okay with all of them?
Yep.
Okay. Do they like that kind of thing, or do they complain about it?
They do.
Like it? Okay, because that's my thing too. I'm gonna tell them. I told my wife, I go, we're just gonna go. What's great about some of those is you don't even see the ride. It's not like Great Adventure where you're just standing under the huge roller coaster. A lot of times you don't see it, so you're already on it having fun before you can get nervous about it, you know. So I'm like, we're just gonna go on all the rides. Tron, though, I know you can see, so I don't know if they're gonna be gung ho on that one.
So you take turns,
Yeah, I guess so.
and that's what we did too.
You did that shit where one of them waits online and then you come back and you swap and you go to the front of the line. You did that?
Just for Guardians.
Okay.
But everything else they went on because they love Seven Dwarf Mine Train, the Big Thunder Mountain, Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah.
In Slinky Dog Dash, there is a good, you know how like they get the photo of you on the ride? I look horrified, and Aurelia looks like she's having the time of her fucking life. So, yeah.
Did you buy it? Did you buy that one?
Oh well, I don't. If you're not gonna like this part, then so technically you could buy the photo pass. I suggest you sign up for the photo pass because you can view all the pictures and then decide if you wanted to do it or not.
Okay, and by decide if you want to do it or not, is that code for what my family does, which is just take a screenshot with the fucking watermarks on it and just keep that for the memory? Because that's how I was raised.
Yeah, right.
We never bought the picture on the screen, but we took a picture of the picture on the screen.
Exactly. No, this actually goes straight to your phone.
Right. Yeah, that's what it does now, right? But even there's a watermark on it, right?
There is.
But here's the thing: I'm really good at Photoshop. I think I can get the watermark off. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. But I did look at PhotoPass. It's $250.
I know, but here's the thing. Instead of having to ask people, hey, can you take a picture of the four of us? You take it, and if you want to do it, and if you want to buy it, you buy it. If not, that's it.
Well, you're talking about each individual one?
No.
Because I saw a thing where it's like you pay $250 and you get every photo from your whole time.
Yeah, which I think you should do.
I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to be honest with you because this is the trip. You know, like your girls are a little younger than my set, right?
1 year from one of yours.
One from what is it? Allegra and Ozempic. How old is Ozempic? I forget how old she is.
Ozempic is 6.
Okay, 6.
And Allegra's will be 5 next week.
6 and 5. Okay, so so you might have one more trip in you if you guys really wanted to. I got 9 and 7. This is it. You know,
what do you mean this is it?
This is it. This is the last time that we will go for a full. I mean, maybe not the last time we'll go for a full week, but this is the last time we will go for a full week where they will totally buy into the magic. They will be floored. Like this will be the trip that they remember for the rest of their lives. Even if they go to Disney 32 more times in their life, this will be the trip that they compare everything to.
Right.
You know, because they're at the age now where, again, they're still young and innocent enough to buy into all the magic and get caught up in everything. But they're old enough to remember it. You know, where we took them a couple of years ago. I forget how old they were, maybe 5 and 3 or something like that. And we talked to them about it now, and they don't remember a single fucking thing.
Are you kidding me?
We only went to Animal Kingdom for a day. Again, we were visiting my parents. My parents are close to Disney. And so that's why it's like, we'll go back there. That's why I'm not so hard up to do every last fucking thing. Cause it's like, we'll be down there visiting grandma and grandpa again. We could always shoot over an hour for a day, you know, take the hour drive and go for the day. So, but you know, and I know we'll do that, but this will be we're going to just be it's going to be the Bukkake Disney trip where just
then
Disney,
that's why you got to buy the lightning lane.
Yeah, I know. It annoys me though. Well, let me ask you this question. Okay. So for Hollywood Studios, the two big ones are the Star Wars one.
Oh yeah. You have to do that one.
And then the Slinky Dog, I hear, is the big one. So this is what I was thinking. We go Slinky Dog first thing in the morning. And then Isn't the Star Wars one a virtual queue where you don't really stand in line, you just get a number? Like there is no line. You get a number and then you come back during that time, right? Isn't that how the Star Wars one is?
No, not anymore. That one, hold on a minute. Let me see.
Oh, it wasn't like that when you went?
No, because they changed it a couple of weeks after it.
Okay. In the chat, just put 1 if you find this interesting, or 2 if you find this horribly boring. Nobody will take offense to it because this is very inside baseball Disney stuff. I don't know if this is really interesting to everybody. So shoot a 1 if you find this interesting, and a 2 if you don't find this interesting at all.
I hate to tell you, Star Wars: The Rise of the Resistance is a single pass.
What does that mean?
It means that is not included in the multi-pass for the Lightning Lane.
Yeah, see,
So
this is where I got. What are you talking about? Single pass and multi?
It means that if you want to go on that, you have to buy it individually. It does not include any other ride. So now all the other rides are on the other one, which is called the multi-pass.
Okay. All right.
He's not get. Hold on, I'm gonna find out how much it is.
It's not even. Here's the thing: the $250 killed me with the photo pass, but I see the value in it. The $16 eats at my insides. Like
So, it depends on what day you go, but it's between $22 and $25 per person for the Rise of the Resistance ride.
$22 per person.
Mm-hmm.
So for my family, I'm paying $88 on top of the $1,000 I'm already down for the tickets and the food for the day and the hotel.
Right, and that's just for one ride. But I'll tell you right now, that is the best ride that I've ever been on.
That's there, right? I know.
Yep. So now the other pass includes, let's see.
And that's not to mention the therapy I'm going to need after I have a desire to lick a penis after coming off the teacups. You know,
That's true.
I have to get that therapied out.
The other pass includes all the other rides, so that's why it's worth it.
So they fuck you. So I have to buy 2 different Lightning Lane things to do. These motherfuckers. They're motherfuckers.
Talk to my brother because he wasn't too happy with that either.
No, because it's so nitpicky. Just raise the fucking price again. Just if I don't even know what I'm paying a ticket, $160 something a day or whatever, probably even more than that. Just make it 170 and let me go on the fucking rides. Here's the other thing. They used to have this. I forgot what they called it, but you used to go and get a ticket and it would give you a time to come back.
They don't do that anymore. And you know what? I've actually never done that ever there.
I did it, and it was kind of like, and then we went one time where they stopped with the ticket. You would just put it in. So you could put in 3 at a time. It would give you 3 that you can come back for. And this way you weren't waiting on so many lines. Now they were only doing that so you could be in the shops and the fucking food places spending more money. But still, there was like a fairness to it. Now it's like, oh, if I have more money, I can enjoy Disney World better. It's like bullshit, you know? Mm-hmm. I hate that kind of mentality, although that's a very liberal approach to Disney World. So
is it?
I think so. Us all being fair, you know, like my conservative friends would be like, fuck you, work harder if you want to get to the front of the line. Pay for it. So you did Lightning Lanes every day?
Yep.
How much money did you fucking drop on Lightning Lanes alone?
Oof.
You must be on feet. You're on Feet Finder, aren't you, son of a bitch? You're selling foot pics.
Maybe. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, because you're impatient. You don't want to wait on lines.
Mm-mm.
But the whole day at these parks is just fucking waiting. All it is waiting.
Yeah, it's true.
We tried to time it too. Oh, here's the other thing. You went in the summertime, didn't you? Or was it the spring?
May.
Okay. We're going, and it's one of the less busier times of the year. I mean, kind of. It's not as warm as it usually is in Florida. Mm-hmm. The subsequent weeks, the week before we get there is insane. And then the 2-3 weeks after we're there is also pretty busy. But that week that we're going is like kind of dead.
I picked a very quote unquote slow week, and the waits were still long because I picked a week where the kids were not off from school. And I picked a week where the kids in Florida were still in school. So.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
These fucking Florida kids are a problem.
Yeah.
Not only to Disney, but the nation altogether.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, you told me to get Lightning Lane, and I ignored you. It was the basic crux of this.
Yeah, sorry.
This topic.
And now I have to go.
All right, go ahead. I don't know if I'm going to do it everywhere. I might do it once. I can't commit to more than once. You know, because I feel like my little game plan of I can do it for Star Wars, and I'll go straight to Slinky Dog when we get there. Done.
Yeah, but the thing is, it might not be available then. That's the whole thing.
What might not be available?
If you're gonna, if you go straight, you don't think that everybody else is gonna go to Slinky Dog Dash?
Well, no. Here's the other thing. We're staying on Did you stay on property?
Yes.
Okay, we're staying on property. We get an extra half hour in the morning, everywhere.
I did not do that shit. You know why? Because I don't like to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm on vacation.
It's true.
I'll tell you something. We got to the parks maybe 10:30 every day or so. A little bit later, and we still did everything.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
10:30. Oh my goodness.
We're not rope droppers.
Oh, we are rope. Well, let me tell you this. Every day of my life, my fucking son gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
And you want to know what I'm most looking forward to in Disney? On day 3, when that kid is exhausted and can't hack it anymore, I cannot wait to wake that son of a bitch up at 5:59 in the morning. Can't wait. I'm going to be like, how do you like it, bitch?
Does he come in your room when he wakes up?
He comes in my room and goes, I have to go to the bathroom. He announced, I got to go to the bathroom, announces. I'm like, you don't have to tell us. You haven't had to for the last 4 years.
Right.
You know, he's some mornings he just goes downstairs and watches TV, but a lot of the times he breaks through the door like he's in a ninja fighting scene and, you know, just announces he has to pee.
Lovely.
What the greatest morning ever was, he wakes me up. I got to go to the bathroom. Okay. So he goes into our bathroom, and I knew, or I had gotten up earlier, right? Fall back asleep. So I know the seat is down, and I just immediately hear him start peeing. And I say, Michael, you're not peeing with the seat down, are you? And then I heard him put the seat up.
Oh.
And he never stopped peeing the entire time.
Oh.
Okay. So.
How old was he?
This was 2 weeks ago.
Was it really?
Yeah. See, you don't know what it's like to raise a boy. It's like a savage. It's like raising a
wolf.
Yes. Yeah. You think feral cats are bad? Try raising boys. I mean, it's fucking awful.
Actually, my daughter did the same thing.
She peed standing up?
Yeah. With the seat down.
That's amazing. That's a talent.
She learned from me.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well.
All right.
All right.
I don't like when you say goodbye and like wrap it up. Just, you know, I'm more comfortable when you just go.
Wait, I just want to know who the sexiest man alive is. Fuck it, I could Google this.
The sexiest man alive is one John Krasinski.
Oh, yeah.
According to People magazine. Actually, before you go, is he sexy to you?
Yes.
Because I feel like he's got a huge schnoz and he's a little goofy looking, but I look at him as Jim from The Office.
You know what that means?
What?
Come on.
Big nose, big dick?
There you go.
All right. He's a tall, lanky fellow. I could see him having a huge, I could see him being a tripod in the bedroom. I'll tell you what, he keeps that British girl happy. What's her name? I call her British, no doubt. I don't know her name, but thank you. Yeah. Emily Blunt. I'm surprised Snoop Dogg didn't scoop her up. That would have been a real pun match made in heaven.
Why
Snoop
is that?
Dogg out on the town with a blunt. You know, because he likes weed.
Goodbye. Okay. Nope. Dad joke.
Wrong.
I tried. Well, I tried. What do you want from me? Mercury loves. Well, do you love Jim Halpert or do you love John Krasinski? Let's clarify that. I'm going to go back to 1 or 2 in the chat. 1, if you think Krasinski is sexy. 2, if you think Krasinski is not sexy. Everybody go in the chat right now. 1, if you think Krasinski is sexy. 2, if you think he's not sexy. Who voted for the pot? Was that? Oh, that was me. I do find him a bit attractive. But that's just because I was on the teacups last time I was at Disney World. So, Linda called him Jimothy, which is maybe one of the funniest lines in The Office ever. When he's like, James, Jim, Jimothy. He's like, that's it. That fucking scene is so hysterical. Let me say something. Steve Carell and John Krasinski are so fucking funny on The Office. What's weird is it was Carell and Dwight, what's his name? Those 2 characters are always together, but I always laugh the hardest when it was Jim and Michael Scott. And I laughed so hard at them that just a couple of weeks ago, months ago, whatever, Steve Carell and John Krasinski started doing a coffee commercial, which wasn't all that funny. And I was still just laughing at the fact that the 2 of them were sitting in a room together. All they had to do was show up and sit together. And immediately all the wonderful, warm thoughts of them on The Office together made me just laugh hysterical, Here we go. Kaylin, thank you very much for this. As a single mom raising a boy, I can tell you it's a whole other animal. Yeah. Animals. I feel like lions, gorillas, bears, they would all look at raising a human boy and go, Jesus Christ, that's a bit much. You know what I'm saying? And those animals eat each other. They literally bite the neck off of living beings. And I don't think they would be able to handle raising a boy, a human boy. Forget washing your hands. I mean, you could barely. I go, after you're done with the bathroom, wash your hands, flush the toilet. I hear peeing, and then 2 seconds later, they're in front of my face. I go, you didn't even, I know you didn't flush. Your hands are not clean, and I'm pretty sure the light's on. I can't see the bathroom from here, but I know you didn't turn the fucking light switch off. They can't do this. This, they're good at. Pressing the top of the light switch, they've got down. Turning the little knob to put the light on, they got. They can't go the extra mile. They can't flick down, and they can't hit the bottom of the switch. It's fucking unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Flying Y says, big nose, big wallet. The eyebrows undo any long schlong. He was so lovable. I bet John Krasinski was never out at a Diddy party. Oh, God, I hope he hasn't been to one. Me too. I'm fucking terrified. I hope he hasn't been to one either. Flying Y says sexy. Rhonda says no. Mercury says yes. Bird says no. Miss Justice says no. Maybe he doesn't play in Canada. Maybe that's an interesting new. Mountaintop says no. Neil says yes. Yeah, Emily Blunt is gorgeous and eloquent. Eloquent. And I don't know if she's really eloquent or if I'm just a sucker for the English accent. I'm not entirely sure. But I think you got to be pretty fucking decent in bed and a nice guy and good looking to get that Emily Blunt. Unless she's one of these women that just falls for people with humor like my wife. Not me fishing for a compliment. Tony Hinchcliffe speaks for the first time since the Trump rally. Let me play the little clip that he played for you because I thought he handled this really well as a typical comic would. He's obviously a super talented guy. And Megan Murphy at Megan E. Murphy on X provides this clip for us here. Let's take a listen, see to Tony Hinchcliffe addressing the MSG Trump rally controversy.
I gave a speech. I don't know if you've heard about this. It was a speech about free speech, believe it or not. And I'm currently under attack I'm the news. I don't know if you guys know this, but on my speech on free speech, I referenced Puerto Rico, which currently has a landfill problem in which all of their landfills are filled to the brim. I guess I'm the only person that knew about this, unfortunately. And with that said, I just want to say that I love Puerto Ricans. They're very smart people. They're smart. They're street smart. And they're smart enough to know when they're being used as political fodder. And right now, that is happening. And I apologize to absolutely nobody. Not to the Puerto Ricans, not to the whites, not to the blacks, not to the Palestinians, not to the Jews, and not to my own mother, who I made fun of during the set. Nobody clipped that. No headlines about me making fun of my own mother. Perhaps that venue at that time wasn't the best fucking place to do this set at. But in any matter, to the mainstream media and to everybody trying to slander me online, that's what I do. I go hard, and that's never going to change.
All right, there you go. I go hard and I'm never going to change. Listen, and I know, and I can see it in the comments, people still don't like him, and that's fine. You know, you don't have to like everybody. But I have a hard time getting mad at a comedian for them doing their job. Okay? They're out there to make jokes. Listen, you can get mad at a quarterback who goes out, you know, and blows the game by throwing an interception. The difference between a quarterback throwing an interception and a touchdown sometimes is a millimeter. And that's the same thing with jokes. Sometimes there's only this much room between holy shit, that was hilarious, and oh my God, I can't believe he said that. That's offensive. It's this big. And so, you know, it's part of the gig. I can't get mad. You can get mad. You can get angry at quarterbacks. You can. But at the end of the day, you can't be like, well, they should lose their job. They shouldn't be able to throw anymore because they threw an interception at the end of this game. It's like, no, quarterbacks have a huge career. They have a long career. And comedians are the same thing. Again, until you know what it's like to go in and day out and go with a blank screen in front of you or a blank piece of paper and then create humor enough that you can get a whole entire room to sit there and listen to you and laugh along with you, that is a difficult task to do. And the craft needs to be respected. So when he goes up and says that, I have no problem with it. By the way, the most funny part about that is, I guess it turns out that's a true story, that the landfills in Puerto Rico were overfilled. I mean, that to me is the funniest part, because his joke was based on a real story. And the fact that none of us knew that, I think is the most hilarious thing ever. Because we're all in our little, you know, worlds here. He's probably reading stuff and going, oh, isn't this interesting? I'll make a joke about that. And, you know, I think if everybody would have known that, if that was like more widely known, like if we were making jokes, like, because and it goes back to my example, we make the same jokes about Staten Island because that's where we put our garbage here in New York, is Staten Island, you know? So, you know, if the landfills are overfilling in Puerto Rico, I'm sure the Puerto Ricans down there and the other islands down and around them are making the same jokes. One can only assume all those people are just like all the people in the 5 boroughs of New York. Because you ask any New Yorker and they're all going to make the same, oh, Staten Island is just an island of garbage joke. You know what I'm saying? I do crack myself up from time to time. I do. Well, I find joy in a lot of things. I think I don't think that's a character flaw, but some people might, you know, some people might. And Rhonda, I respect the opinion, as clearly a lot of the people in the audience feel the same way that you do. A lot of the AOA holes feel the same way that you do and disagree with me on this. And that's totally cool. Not at a political rally. I understand a lot of people are making that argument. I still feel like anywhere is fine for a comedian. for a comedian. For other people that don't get paid to entertain people for a living, it's a different story. You know, for a comedian, no matter where you are, coffee shop, Madison Square Garden, political rally, Comedy Cellar, you know, wherever it is, you know, jokes are jokes. Comedians try and make people laugh. And that's the other thing, too. We don't give comedians slack. All they're trying to do is make your day better. That's all they're trying to do. And so I never understood these people. They're like, I don't really like stand-up comedy. Do you have a problem with joy? I don't understand. That's like being, you know who's a real dick? Santa Claus. What's his fucking problem? It's like, what? Well, I don't really like comedians or stand-up comedy. Why? What do you hate? Laughter and the best part of life? What else do you have a problem with? Blue skies and a well-cooked steak? What is your fucking deal? You know, I don't understand people like that. I really don't. I just don't get it. Anyway, that's my feeling on Tony Hinchcliffe, and he's not apologizing, and good for him. I'm sure he feels, you know, justified in the fact that the way the election went. Again, the joke didn't land in the room. I understand that. But they tried to manufacture a controversy out of him for political gain, and it blew up in the Democrats' face. Period. End of sentence. That's the reality of what happened. This constantly trying to manufacture controversy and outrage over something just so the Democrats can feel superiority over everybody else is not a strategy that works for their party. And that's evident in the amount of electoral votes that Donald Trump got and the amount of popular votes that he got. Saks and the Christmas show. Okay. So for people who are unaware, by Rockefeller Center in New York City, where we put the big tree up, is right across the way opposite the tree. Like if you're looking at the tree and you turn around, you'll see Saks Fifth Avenue is right there. And they every year, for the last 20 years, and this hasn't been like a 90-year tradition. It's not as old of a tradition as it is, you know, the tree. The tree's been going on for a long time. But like 20 years ago, Saks decided that they were going to put a little Christmas display, you know, a little Christmas show. They got lights on their store and everything. They always did the windows and everything, and then they're like doing this whole show, and every like 10 minutes the show would go off. It's a beautiful show. We took the kids a couple of years ago to go see the tree, go see the Rockettes, and then, you know, we sit there and watch the show, and it was nice. Now they're saying that they're not going to be doing it anymore because they can't afford it. Saks Fifth Avenue, can't afford it. You go in there and a pair of shoes is $1,300 and they can't afford some Christmas lights. What the fuck is going on? I don't understand what's happening here. You know, it was like a huge thing. It was like, oh, you know, we go in, you go to, like, we went into Saks the last time we were there, and my wife was just looking at stuff, and I go, these shoes are fucking $1,300. What, are you shitting me? And she's like, I know we can't afford it. I go, can't afford it? I don't even think we should be holding it. Don't put those on your feet. We're going to get in trouble. Somebody's going to come out and be like, you don't belong here. You got to get the fuck out of here. You know? I mean, it just seems weird to me, though, that like they can do all these crazy Saks Fifth Avenue. It's a huge company, and they can't put the Christmas lights on in the front of the building anymore. Feels un-American. You know, it feels un-American. And it's like, you know, listen, here's the other thing too. We spend a lot of money. We send money all over the place. Ukraine, right? We're sending money to, you know, Israel, all these foreign nations, Ukraine, Israel, Florida, all the money we send to all these other people, and we can't help save Saks Fifth Avenue. I mean, it seems nuts to me. But not that I want the government to step in and save Saks Fifth Avenue. I just figure, what are you going to sell? 4 pairs of shoes to cover the cost of the fucking Christmas lights? How bad could it be? You know? Oh, but we got money to fucking give to Florida. You know, it seems nuts. Seems nuts. We got to stop propping up places, Florida. They're throwing away money, and let's focus our money where we need to, on the Christmas lights at Saks Fifth Avenue. The best defense that I heard from the Saks people were they had a spokesman on the other day, and he goes, "Well, we made this decision in the summer," and I'm like, "Did you think that was an argument that was going to get you out of this?" Like, no, we didn't just decide today. We decided back in July that we weren't going to do this. Like, that's not an argument to fucking end like a tradition. And New Yorkers and tourists do not like ending traditions. You remember when like Macy's was in trouble and they didn't know what was going to happen with the parade? I think one year the city stepped in maybe and helped fund the parade a little bit because Macy's was hurting so bad. But, you know, it's weird to say because, you know, we were just talking about legacy media kind of going out. Gone are the days of old school department stores, you know? It's like if you want to see a Christmas display, check the fucking Amazon building, check the Twitter building, check the Google building, you know, because these are the only places that got the money to throw around on Christmas decorations. In fact, if you want to do something American, Google and Amazon and all the places that are fucking the old school department stores should pony up some cash so that they can still have like a nice little tradition, you know? So, oh, wait a second. Oh, we got a couple of funny. I'm still upset Kimball's went away. I hear that. Anyone ever feel like Ant never leaves his studio? Like he's sitting there all day talking. He just happens to turn the camera on. That's fucking hilarious. That might be the funniest thing that was said all year in 2024. That is hilarious. I'll tell you this, being married to me is very similar to watching and listening to this podcast. There's no real difference. I talk the same way to my wife. This is the same thing that happens. She gets the same view, you know, sitting across the old kitchen table from me. It's the same shit. And yeah, you're right. There really is no difference. I do this all day to Cuddles while she's here, and then I come up here and do it here. Yeah. The only thing, comments are funnier here. Now, see, I'm going to have to apologize to Cuddles for that. I tried to make you guys laugh at her expense. And if she's watching or listening to this, now I'm going to be in trouble sleeping on the couch all night. That Saks thing is fucking, it's just, I don't know. And here's you want to know what really bugs me about Saks? I bet you if I looked it up, the CEO of Saks Fifth Avenue makes fucking $35 million a year. You know, peel off a couple of bills, give your fucking employees a turkey and some fucking healthcare, and let them watch the stupid Christmas show out front, you selfish piece of shit. I have no idea who runs Saks Fifth Avenue or what they make, but I bet you if I looked it up, they're making way more than they need to be, and they could probably cover the fucking cost of this stupid, you know, Christmas display. Bird, this has burned my ass for a day and a half now, so you better believe that once this show ends, I am still going to be talking about this. I am still going to be talking about this. This might be how Friday's show starts. You know, this might be how Friday's show starts. I know I am getting a little Comrade Kamala on you here. But it's the truth. I mean, we got to have traditions, you know, for the love of God. We've got to have traditions, you know. There's just certain things that need to be done. When you're charging $1,300 for an ugly sneaker, they weren't even nice sneakers. I didn't even know sneakers could cost that much. It wasn't like they were like Louboutins. I get that those things are fucking expensive, but just plain like Nikes there are 4 times the amount of money. And everybody who was shopping there looked like such a douchebag. Oh my God. That's where I got into the little mix-up where I almost punched that guy in the face. Do you remember that story on the escalator? He was kind of a dick to my kid. Oh my God, I wanted to fucking shove that loser asshole down the escalator. Anyway, let's look at the bright side of things. Let's keep it positive, people. I wonder if we can shame Saks Fifth Avenue into footing the bill for this. We'll have to see. More on the sax thing on the next episode. You better believe I'm not going to be able to give this up. Appreciate everybody for the comments. Boy, was J-Sab's great. Her back is hurting her. She has been carrying this thing. I know Frank will be back soon. I don't know if he's back next episode or next week. So stay tuned.
Show me potato salad.
That's if he ever comes back.
Maybe we should go now.
Go ahead.